So this is Katie Hunter for MMA UK. I'm here with Scott Malone. Scott is fighting at Cage Warriors Manchester, the first card of the year against Adam Wilson on the 7th of March. Hi, Scott.
How are we doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very good. Excited.
So tell me, you put a post up that says that one opponent had cancelled already before the fight had even been announced. What happened there?
Yeah, I don't actually know what happened to the guy, but apparently he couldn't fight anymore. So I had someone arrange it. The contract was signed. I was waiting for them to announce it pretty much, and then I just got a message from my managers and said that he's kind of pulled out. It says that at first that he could possibly still be fighting. So I obviously hung around. But then it came to me with Adam, so then they were like, well, do you want to fight Adam? I was like, yeah, okay.
Can you tell us who it was that pulled out?
I can. I don't know if I'm supposed to, but yeah, it was Sam Spencer I was supposed to be fighting.
Okay. I was looking at your record because obviously that one's not up there because it was never announced, and you've suffered a lot with pullouts and cancellations over the years. I think you've got 10 on your pro record.
Yeah, I think one of them was not even recorded as well. Like, I've got way more than that. I think it's like that's possibly 12 now.
Gosh. And I know it's a similar story for Adam as well. Yeah. So hopefully both you guys are desperate to get in the cage in Manchester.
Yeah. I mean, I could see exactly where Adam's coming from, getting the cancellations, because he's not got the greatest record. Yeah. He's got a short amount of fights, but he's a good fighter, you know what I mean? So guys don't want to take that risk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm willing to take that risk at this point. I need to prove to myself, really. You know what I mean? Coming up with 2 losses, it's hard, so I need to prove to myself that I'm where I belong.
So let's talk about that, because obviously you have an experience loss for a long time, and then last year 2 losses, one to Jack Shaw, who's obviously still on fire in the UFC, and then you're in the bantamweight tournament for Cage Warriors. So tell us what that's been like.
The loss against Jack Shaw, I took it quite hard, but I didn't take it as hard as I did getting beat from Jack Cartwright. I think because, I don't know, I think it's because I know Jack Shaw's actually quite a nice guy. He's, you know, he's respectful. And it's the way I got beat as well. I genuinely felt the best I've ever felt going into the Jack Cartwright fight.
Yeah.
Felt fitter than ever. I thought I'd been training my ass off, and I just got caught just cold. You know what I mean? It was shit the way it ended, but that's the fight game, isn't it?
Yeah. And obviously Josh Reed was in that tournament as well, and he kind of retired on the spot after he lost, and luckily for us all he changed his mind and fought again. But is that the kind of things that go through your head after a loss? Like, just, you know, should I even be doing this? Do I want to be doing this? Do I want to be going through this?
Yeah, every day is like self-doubt all the time. Coming off 2 losses, you start to doubt yourself, and you start to think, because I'm 32 now.
Yeah.
I know I've got a baby face and I look about 12, but
you do look younger than that.
I'm 32, and it's like, do I continue to fight and lose, or do I fight and win and then continue to fight? I kind of need to prove to myself where I need to be. I believe I'm still a good fighter, and I believe that last one, I just got caught cold. I got caught. That's what's so hard to accept it. Like with Jack, I felt like I put up a good fight. I can walk away with my head held high. I had a good fight, and it's again like he caught me. He was the better guy on the night. But with Jack Cartwright, it was just like I never even got to get into the fight. I don't even know how I would have performed. You know what I mean? I felt great. I had a really shit weight cut, but I'm not going to put that down to that. I don't know if that's excuses, but one thing I've learned from that is, like, obviously having that shit weight cut, I failed weight the first time, and I had to go back and like run it off, and it took what felt like forever. But I don't know if that is. But from that, I've learned, and now my weight now is lower than like the week of the fight.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I'm a lot lighter now than I was for the last fight.
Yeah.
Also went vegan as well.
And it must be tough that you're fighting in Manchester and he's headlining the card, and
Yeah.
you know, like that's obviously the position that you want to be in and thought you would be in.
Yeah, that is what it is. You know what I mean? That's the fight game. At the end of the day.
Yeah.
This is my last fight with Cage Warriors as well, so I'm going to be in two minds of what happens. So we'll see how the result goes, and then I could see what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If Cage Warriors was to pay really good money, then I would stay there, but I don't know.
That seems to be the conundrum for all the really decent fighters, you know, out there. Do they go to another promotion that might pay more, or do they go to Cage Warriors where the pay is less, but if they feel like they really want to go to the UFC, that is like the most proven route?
Yeah, it's a great platform. It's a great show. Like everything. I love everything about Cage Warriors. It's genuinely one of it's the best show I've ever fought on. It's professional. It runs on time. It's like everything goes smooth. You know what I mean? Like Ian Dean's great with the guys, stuff like that. But I think the only one thing that lets it down is the cash. But I think because they're so good at everything else, and people accept that.
Yeah.
So it's one of these things, but like I know guys say they're not fighting for money, but if you're getting paid to fight the same guy on a different show for more money, you're going to take it. You know what I mean? I've got a family to feed at the end of the day, but it's not all about that. But yeah, it's definitely helps.
Yeah, I've heard that so many times, and it's such a shame because from a fan's perspective, like I find it the greatest show for me to watch outside of the UFC as well. Like the matchmaking is second to none, and like you know they really build their divisions well, and
Yeah.
you can kind of follow someone all the way through Cage Warriors and onto the UFC, and I feel like it really builds up a fan base for people as well.
Yeah, I think the whole thing about Cage Warriors is great. Like all the I don't know, I was just on the phone. Pressing. Sorry. All the build up, all the good fighters were there. You know what I mean? Like all the good guys. Like they're all the guys to beat. So that's the thing. You just need to keep winning fights. That's the fight game again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it can turn around so quickly. You know, it's
Yeah.
like that snakes and ladders, and you know, like a couple of losses can feel like you're right back at the start, but then just as quickly a couple of wins and you're right back at the top of that division. And
Yeah.
would you like a rematch with Jack Cartwright?
I would like a rematch with Jack Cat. I think, not to say that he just caught me cold, because he's obviously got power in his hands. He's did it to a lot of people. You know what I mean? He's got a very good. He's good. You know what I mean? I'm not going to take that away from him. He's got good, solid power in his hands. So, but yeah, I'd like to do it again, 100%.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. I'd love to get you. I'd love for you to be able to display more of your skill set. I can see that it really gnaws away at you.
Yeah, just because it was so quick. I think that's the thing that pissed me off. If he hadn't knocked me out in the third round or something, I would have walked away accepting that. You know what I mean? That's again, not to say it again, but that's the fight game. You know, but
yeah. It's the toughest part of the fight game, I think, and that's what you know really defines a fighter, how they handle their losses.
Mm-hmm.
And you can be, you know, undefeated for ages, and then or look at Ronda Rousey, like she just couldn't handle losing.
That's it.
Yeah.
She's got the judo mentality as well, like me.
So let's move on to something a bit happier. Your gym, I can see your marketing wearing the jumper there, Amiga Gym.
Got to.
At Amiga_MMA Gym on Instagram. It looks like a fantastic facility, and it looks like the classes are really busy. How's it going there?
Yeah, it's honestly like, see, going there, that's now my job, right? And it doesn't feel like work. That's for me is the main thing. Like when I was scaffolding, I was going to work, dreading Mondays, but now I'm like I was there today. I'm training today, just away at the gym. Like that's my work. I'm working on a Sunday, but what I'm doing is I'm training. I mean, I'm training and I'm showing these guys things and helping these other guys come through. All these young guys, like there's a lot of young guys there, and I could see so much potential in like a lot of them. I've got guys possibly competing on like a little rookie tournament in March, so they're sort of going to come through fight camp with me, I reckon. So it'll be interesting to see how we do.
How does that feel? How does that feel to be coaching them and like looking after them for their fights and them be your real fighters?
Yeah, it feels good. Like obviously, I used to coach judo for I'd say 11 years or something, maybe even more.
Yeah.
So I've always coached all my life. So seeing the guys going to like competitions and etc. and winning medals, like it gives you sort of that a little bit of pride. You know what I mean? Like seeing that your guys that you're coaching are doing well. You know you're doing something right if these other guys are doing well. Yeah, everybody's like it's a good bunch. It's a good sort of family thing. We've got like a women's self-defense class going on as well. Like a couple of the mums from the kids classes are now coming along to the self-defense classes. So it feels like it's just like a big family. So it's great. It's like I love it.
I do think that's really cool. Like the people that I roll with, their kids go to like the kids class and they try to talk their wives into coming down and doing it. And yeah, it's good to see more women in the gym. Like I don't have any to roll with, so especially now Corey's gone to Wales. But yeah, it's good. It must be a struggle though, fitting in your own training with coaching and having your own gym. And does that bring like another element of stress to your own kind of fighter needs?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Obviously, I'm going to need to go and travel like a couple of nights a week. Possibly going to get some people to cover the classes so I can go and get some good solid training in. But I've got all the time in the world during the day. You know what I mean? I can go through my own gym. I could hit a bag, for example. I'm doing my strength and conditioning with enhanced work performance 3 times a week. So I've got that. I've got guys that I could train in Dundee as well because it's in Perth. It's only half an hour drive. I've got a gym in Dundee where I can go in and use whenever I want as well. There's a lot of guys from Dundee which are quite experienced. But yes, sometimes coaching at night, and sometimes I feel like maybe I should be training right now, but it's kind of, I don't know. You can't have the good and the bad, you know what I mean? You need to take both.
Yeah. So do you think you'll cut back on what you do in your own gym when you're in like proper deep fight camp?
Yeah, definitely. I think I've already spoke to, we've got a couple of coaches. We've got Kieran Laidlaw that's taken all our like Muay Thai and K1 striking. He's fought MMA and stuff before. He covered the class last Thursday. For me, like I just had a rest day. I wasn't feeling too great, so I just had a rest day. He covered the class for me. I've got guys like you and Sloan that can cover my jiu-jitsu. I've got Paul Patrick that can cover classes for me as well. Like all these guys are good guys that I've grew up training with. So I know that they know the same sort of stuff as me. So because we've trained at the same club all our days, it's like I know how their minds are thinking as well. You know what I mean? I know that I can trust them to take a class. And the guys at the gym, like some of the guys are quite good. You know what I mean? Some of them have did things before and stuff, so I can still like go there and get a couple of rounds with guys there. Obviously, the level's not as high, but you can still get a sweat on. You can, like neutralise things. Like for example, I was working just when I was sparring with guys. All I would do is work head movement. So I'm not really trying to hit them, but I'm working my head movement, and they're obviously trying to hit me. So just like doing little things like that. So say I've got a good grappler, I'll maybe try and take the guy down or try and submit him. You know what I mean? So yeah. I'm gonna go through to train. I've got speaking to Brian Gallagher from Scottish Hit Squad. He's going to get some guys possibly through at the gym, to my gym, to bring them through to get some grappling rounds in. And I've already spoke to Alex Snedden as well, which is Headhunters. I'm going through there on Wednesday as well, and I'm possibly going to go through at a higher level on Sunday as well. I've not spoke to James yet, but possibly go through there and get some rounds. I know that Luke Shanks is fighting for the belt like the week after me or something like that. So I've sparred with Luke before. He's came through at my gym and that before, so I'll get some rounds in with him definitely.
Yeah, you just named a load there. Some fantastic gyms in Scotland, some fantastic coaches and talent. And why do you think it is that shows aren't coming to Scotland as often as we would all expect?
I think ACB's put every promoter in the world off.
ACB was empty everywhere I went to watch it in the UK. That wasn't a Scotland thing.
Yeah, I genuinely think that's why. But they took out the Hydro. Like Hydro's
Enormous.
a big, massive place. You know what I mean? And they've never even nearly filled the seats, so it looked dead. And that's like Ian Dean's mentioned that to me before about ACB, and I don't know. Genuinely don't know. I was actually thinking about putting on my own show as well. Thinking about see if I can put on a show up here, because all the shows are like Glasgow, Edinburgh. You know what I mean? I was going to possibly put up a show in Dundee or Perth and see if I can feed my own guys into that show, or get guys from the MMA that have never fought before and feed them into that show as well, and give these guys a good platform. You know what I mean? The things that I would have liked when I was younger, just starting out, I'm going to hopefully give that to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I know that Battle Arena and Evolution of Combat up in Scotland in the next few months, but it just doesn't seem like some of the bigger shows are there. And somebody did ask Brian Boylan about it in our media scrum at the last Cage Warriors London, and he said he's reluctant to go back to where they haven't been successful previously. But I just feel like you guys deserve a big show.
I think we do. I think generally there's a lot of good guys up here that can be on that card. You know what I mean? Not just the guys that are on the Cage Warriors roster at the moment. There's a lot of good guys that are coming through. There's a lot of good guys that are just starting out. Maybe had like 1 or 2 pro fights. There's a lot of good guys at like Scottish Hit Squad, Headhunters, higher level that have fought pro that can easily fill that card, and they're good fighters. Like the standard up here is really good, I think. Coming from me, because I like to travel a lot. I like to just be a little, I don't know. I just like to go different places, get different bodies, get different shapes, sizes, and get different coaching as well. You know what I mean? So
something else I wanted to ask you about. Obviously, I know you've trained over at Team Alpha Male, and you know Uriah Faber well. I wondered what you thought about Jose Aldo getting the next title shot in the UFC after Peter Yan did what he did to Uriah Faber. Like, Uriah is so tough, like a legend of the sport. I just think Yan earned a title shot after, the run he's been on, and finishing Faber like that.
Yeah, I know. I think there's Peter Yan. There's also Aljamain Sterling as well. Like,
Aldo, yeah.
You know, there's loads of the guys that I think deserve a shot before him. Even what's his name, Yo Romero. Is he not just coming off a loss as well to Costa?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and now he's getting a title shot.
Yeah.
Now, to me, that does not make sense. That's like me now getting a title shot. You know what I mean? I wouldn't feel like I'd be in that position of deserving that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just personally me. Although I did kind of get a title shot after a loss, but yeah.
Well, if they're giving them out, I'm sure you take one.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So I had a couple of questions. I put some questions out to the staff at MMA UK, or asked if they had any questions. I saw you had a post on your Instagram saying that you were interested in grappling matchups. It was a few months back. Are you still looking to compete on the grappling side?
Yeah, I think I never like to grapple before a fight, or definitely after a fight. Mainly that was because I had this big open space where it was like I needed something to focus on. My mind was obviously just coming off a loss. I needed something to like focus on. and just get my head in the game again, because I was feeling, I was down, I was shit, I was just going through a pretty hard time, and it was like I needed something to work towards. So I was mainly wanting it before Christmas, so I can do something before Christmas, keep myself fit. But I think there's a couple of things coming up in April or something which can, I don't know, maybe enter into them.
Yeah.
But I want to get my guys competing jiu-jitsu. I want to get my guys competing like things like white collar boxing. Like I'd like them to do something like that, just so that they get an idea of what it's like to be in a fight, be in that situation, rather than just being through in a cage and like, you know what I mean? Give them that experience of people being around them, all watching them at the time, but it's not as heavy as an MMA fight.
Yeah, yeah. And I think jiu-jitsu tournaments are great for that, because I don't know how many you've got up there, but like here you can, if you're prepared to travel a bit, you could literally do it every week, and it's you know, it's not obviously not anywhere near as tough on the body as going through a whole fight camp and having an MMA fight. So
yeah. But yeah, that's the things that I want my team to do. I want them to compete as much as possible. Like I'm coming from like obviously a judo background.
yeah,
All my days, like I was competing near enough every weekend, like every second weekend, every third weekend. You know what I mean? There wasn't like a space over, I'd say, a month where I'm not competing towards something.
yeah.
So I would always, because I've got that, right, I've got a competition this weekend, this weekend, this weekend, I would always be training.
Yeah.
You're always keeping fit, and that's how it needs to work, I think. Just keeping the guys active rather than you see them for 8 weeks during fight camp, then you won't see them for 8 weeks after, and then they'll come back a week later and like, oh, can I fight again? I mean, I'm guilty of doing that myself. Like I've had a fight camp and I'm like, right, fuck that. I'm just going to eat and drink as much as possible for the next 3 weeks. But yeah, I would like the guys to continually just train towards something, give them little goals, give them little things to do rather than just training towards nothing.
Yeah, yeah. Brilliant. So the next fight is the 7th of March. How often or how much would you like to compete this year? And if that's the last fight on your Cage Warriors contract, could it be elsewhere?
Yeah, I'd like to fight probably about 4 times this year. Obviously, I think depending on how this goes is going to depend a lot on what happens next. I don't want to put too much pressure on myself, but like I think a win could put me in a good position to then look at decent shows. Really, really, really would like to fight on one. Like that's my goal. But even before the UFC, I'd love to fight on one championships. I think the whole Asian culture, like everything about that whole show, just appeals to me. Like the whole respect, no trash talking, like that appeals to me more than being in the UFC. Than everybody, like, you know, you've got to have a good Twitter game and be able to slag people and stuff like that. Like that's not me. You know what I mean? It's just it'd be fake. It would all be fake from me. So I think being able to just what they have is like the fighters are superheroes. You know what I mean? I've heard them say that. So that to me sounds good. I think obviously doing judo again, having that sort of Japanese sort of, you know, thing in my background. I think that's really what's attached me to it.
You'd probably be a featherweight at one because of the way they do their rehydration and weight.
Yeah, well, I think the bantamweight's 66 kilo anyway.
Right. Oh, okay. So, yeah, they just changed the. Sorry, yeah, they changed the weight classes. So, are there any opponents that you've got in mind there, or dream matchups for the future?
Not necessarily. No, to be honest, I just like to get on there. I'll fight anyone, anytime. Just get me over there and get me on that show. I'd like to be the first Scottish guy to do it as well. That would be good. I know I think there's English guys, there's Irish guys, but I'd like to be the first Scottish guy to fight on one in MMA, because there is Scottish guys that fight Thai.
Right. Well, that's an awesome goal for 2020.
Yeah.
I hope that it goes swimmingly. I'm really looking forward to. I feel like there's been, until last night, just the lack of MMA has been driving me insane. So I really cannot wait until March. It's going to be so exciting. Their matchmaking has been phenomenal. That, you know, the ones I've seen coming out for Manchester and for London just look epic. And just wish you the best of luck with the rest of fight camp, and hope you get there healthy and put on a great show on the night.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Hope to put on a good fight for everyone.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Scott. Thanks everyone for watching. Tune in and watch Scott on Fight Pass when he fights at Cage Warriors Manchester on the 7th of March. Or you can be there. I guess you've got tickets for sale, Scott?
Yeah, well, I've got a little link to get tickets, so I might post the link on my Instagram or Facebook or something. So
yeah, and
keep an eye
out in the comments for this interview as well.
Yeah, that's it.
Fabulous. Thanks so much for your time, Scott.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Bye.